me ducks, welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. It's Simon here. Hope everybody has had a good week. It's Friday, and if you're in the UK, it's a bank holiday weekend, the last one until Christmas. And if you're not in the UK, then a bank holiday is a national holiday called bank holidays because banks and things close. But, you know, if you're working like public sector, then you get an extra day off work on the Monday. And so, yeah, we get a 3-day weekend. And I've got a few things to do over this weekend. I've got some new decks come in from Wiser, which was really exciting. And I've got an interview tomorrow with Cheryl from the Oneness Emporium. And you've heard me talk about Cheryl and her UK shop, and so I'm excited that she agreed to come on and have a little bit more of a chat about her shop, her tarot practice, what she has to offer and all that kind of stuff. And then I've got some other goodies to show you over the weekend as well. So we're going to start off with, I took a delivery of some decks this week, which are by Wiser. Now, they've also sent Wiser Tarot, which I have a copy of Wiser Tarot, and that's why I agreed, you know, to review some of their other decks, because this deck is fantastic. I mean, just look at the colours, and the cardstock is wonderful. This featured in my very recent updated top 10 RWS decks, which are my favorite RWS decks, and yeah, this was in there because I just think they've done a fantastic job with this deck. So I was contacted by a lady called Carrie, and she is a representative, and said that a couple of people, herself, somebody called Tony, and there's Tina, and there's Gaia, who are all involved, with Wiser, had a set of Kipper and Lenormand cards coming out called the Siren song, which is what I've been sent here. And then this was a total surprise. This is the Beloved Dead Oracle, an oracle for divining ancestral wisdom, and that's Carrie and Tina, and this one I think is also there's no names on the box for this one, I don't think. It says Paris and Savory, but we'll have a look at that anyway. And they've put some information sheets in, which I find really useful. So we've got one on the Wiser Tarot, we've got one on Siren Song, and then we've got one for the Beloved Dead. But the email that I got saying, along with Tony Savory, Savory, that's the name that we see here, Paris and Savory, Tina Hart and Red Wheel Wiser, our latest divination set, the Siren Song, has been released. And then gone on to say, we believe that this might be a first in the world of cartomancy, with the inclusion of a Lenormand and Kipper deck nested in one box. They'd been working on the project together since I think they met at a conference like Creator Studio or something, Writer Studio, is it? I forget what it's called now. Reader Studio, it's just come to me, it's Reader Studio, which is the New York kind of tarot conference. I know there's Newts, which is the Northwest Tarot Symposium. We have one over here in London in October. So yeah, they met there and have been talking about this. So obviously it's the Siren Song, so it's this kind of underwater theme. They said there's an underwater atmosphere, loads of tentacles, but it can be used individually as a Kipper deck and a Lenormand deck, or it can be combined together. And the book that comes with this offers tips for both, really, using it in the decks individually or combining. So I thought that was quite interesting. Now, you will have heard me say I'm not a Lenormand reader. I have more Lenormand decks than I need, really. My favourite is the 1889. I really love that deck. And I have tried to study Lenormand, but I think every time I've tried, there's just been too much other stuff going on. But I still kind of bring some Lenormand decks, and I've got a couple of Kipper decks, actually. I think the last one was Stephen Bright's Kipper deck, Spirit Within. But I kind of bring them into my collection because I like to think that one day, when I have a bit of time, that it's something that I will pick up again. And I mean, I love cards, I love cartomancy, and I know there is a specific way to read Lenormand decks. I tend to just lay a series of cards down and look at them and see how they link together, and it's almost like a storyboard for me. So the Siren song, let's have a look at what the information sheet that comes with it says about the Siren song. So it says, divining the depths with Lenormand and Kipper cards, Carrie Paris and Tina Hart. A fantastical deep sea world awaits in this set of two complementary oracular decks to be used in combination or alone. Apologies for the sirens, it happens every time, and it's a Friday, so we do have an abundance of them on a Friday, unfortunately. These beautiful decks invites us into the world inhabited by the iridescent characters who lend their magic, myth and tentacles to every oracle reading. The result is a seductive and internal as the legendary Siren song. This divination kit contains two oracles, a Kipper and a Lenormand. When used together, they provide the highest, fullest degree of possible interpretation. Unlike tarot and oracle decks, which are read intuitively, Lenormand cards are read metaphorically and Kipper cards are read quite literally. Lenormand deals with the outer world and Kipper deals with the interpersonal. The most common way to read Lenormand and Kipper is to treat the card meanings as words and read them in order. So maybe I was doing that right then. There can be a certain amount of intuition in how you approach the card meanings, but they have set meanings. The Kipper deck is not a card deck that has the capacity to address larger societal issues. It's more on a personal level, aimed at everyday realities of people's lives. And it reflects both the highest and the lowest possibilities those lives can contain. It depicts people, societal roles, and personal states of being. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Because if the Lenormand deck is read a certain way, which is metaphorical, and Kippers are to be taken literally, the Kipper deck should be taken literally, and Lenormand is dealing with the outer world, whilst Kipper is dealing with the interpersonal. Combining the two decks together, which is what we're told we can do with this deck, that's quite interesting how that will work. So I'm interested in kind of exploring the book to look at more about it. So this was released on the 7th of August, so it's quite new out. We're only on the 25th now, so what's that, just over 2 weeks ago. Looks like it's a clam shell, but I'm struggling to get in. That is quite difficult. See if I can, so we pull it down like that. I mean, it's beautiful, beautifully presented, as you can see here, especially on the inside. This is really soft. And it says, may the siren song guide you away from rocky shores and lure you into the dazzling depths of your own truth and mystery. Which is quite beautiful. We've got this key here as well, bobbing in the waters. These are really lovely crystal clear waters. So Carrie Paris, Tony Savory and Tina Hart have put, oh look at this, this is nice. So we've got a book here, the guidebook to divining with Lenormand and Kipper cards. You'll notice I keep switching between saying Lenormand or Lenormand. It's just because I've heard both so many times. And I think, from what I understand, the Siren song Lenormand has been out a while. But this is the first time with a Kipper deck, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I seem to recall hearing the Siren song Lenormand before. So 2023 by Wiser Books. And what we have here is introducing the Siren song, the structure of Siren song, the seascapes before you, and then the Siren song Lenormand cards, and the Siren song Kipper cards, and then Lenormand and Kipper cards spread. So it tells you there how to do a spread using both decks. And then we have a grand tableau. So 2017, Carrie Paris released the Siren song Lenormand. So I was right, I do remember that coming out. So that's what, 6 years ago now? A dreamy deck of cards anchored in a deep sea theme. This was a fantastical world inhabited by iridescent characters who lent their magic, myth and tentacles to every reading. And then Carrie and Tony dreamed of one day combining both decks into a single treasure chest, because at their core, these two card decks are kindred divinatory tools. Both the Kipper and Lenormand cards long to tell the reader a detailed, no barnacle unturned story in which the querent is always the main character. Wow. So let's put down here. Within the first pages, the Sirens will guide you through the tides of the Petite Lenormand deck, where you'll discover each card's unique role, energy, and a few future tips for your own eventual explorations into grand tableau readings. Then as your deep dive continues, you'll discover the titanic possibilities of the ancient Kipper deck. So yeah, it looks like the book really does kind of assist you with learning to read the two decks together. I am the shore and the ocean, awaiting myself on both sides. So introducing the Siren song. This is a beautifully illustrated book. Look at that, look how beautiful. The structure of the Siren song. There's quite a bit of information there. Then we go into the Lenormand cards. We get this full, beautiful image. Oh no, so when you get, well, there is there for telling you about the Lenormand. And then you get the cards here. And then some spreads that you can do, which is nice. And then we go into lots of information here, lots of information. Okay, so that's the book, and that is 144 pages. So 144 pages for the book. I'm just going to pop that one side, and then we'll take out these decks. Now, this box has been specially designed with these little lift outs, and you can see the little designs underneath. They are purposely done like this because they have extra cards to be inclusive. There'll be two males, two females, etc. So you choose how you want your deck, and then you pop the additional cards. Let's take this band off. Underneath, and you put the top back on, etc. And then when you've taken out the cards, you've still got your cards if you want to swap them around, but they don't get mixed up back into the deck. And I thought that was really such a clever idea. Something very simple, but really useful. All right, I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit so we can have a close-up look. We'll have a look at the Lenormand first. They look gorgeous. And then we'll have a look at the Kipper cards. They both have the same backs. The only difference is you have an L, not reversible, but yeah, that's fine because Lenormand. An L for Lenormand and a K for Kipper on the backs of the cards. All right, let's bring the camera down. So most people will be aware that obviously when we're talking of Kipper and Lenormand, the cards are very small. If it's your first time ever seeing a Kipper deck, with me being a tarot channel, you know, just so you're aware, that's the size difference. So kind of like a smaller, even smaller than a playing card. Really, I think, let me just, I've got a playing card to hand here. So I'll just have a look at this. This is a bicycle vintage, which is gorgeous, this deck, really lovely. So we'll have a look at a bicycle card. So it's about the same height, but it's narrower than a standard playing card as well. Okay. So as you'll see here, we've got our rider, which is card number 1. So we have the title here at the bottom with the number, Clover 2, etc. We get the playing card association there. And I just want to have a look at the amount of information you get per card. So you've got your keywords. Now remember, a Lenormand is set, so it's not to be used intuitively, it's metaphorically. So the keyword is messenger, news, information, and then there's a little paragraph here telling you about the card. Okay. I like the backgrounds. The backgrounds are really nice. You can see a lot, as it said, lots of tentacles and things. So this is our rider who's riding a seahorse. We have the Clover card, the ship. We've got this kind of octopus underneath, the house. It's a very gothic house, isn't it? Tree. Beautiful design for the playing card as well. Clouds, the snake, coffin, and then we have the bouquet. It's a beautiful bouquet. The scythe, whip. Wow, that's gorgeous. The birds, child. So we have 2 child cards here. As you can see, it's exactly the same card, and they're both card 13. So you choose here which one you'd rather have. This looks more like a child for me, so I'm gonna put that one to one side. Fox is beautiful, as is the bear. Stars, the stork, cat, the dog, the tower. That is stunning. Garden, mountain. Then we have crossroads, the meese, the meese. The meese. I don't even know why I said that. The heart, we have the ring, book, letter, man, woman, man, woman. So again, I think as well, they were talking about having age kind of diversity in this too. So if you could either choose the man and woman set that you wanted in there. You might decide that you want 2 women. You might decide that you want 2 men. So if you're, you know, a querent card and a significator card, etc. So again, you choose what you want and you can put the others into the box. the lily, the sun, the moon, look at that moon card, key, and then we have the fish, anchor, and card 36 is the cross. What a beautiful cross that is. Okay, so that's the Lenormand cards. We'll just pop them there, and then we'll have a look at the Kipper cards. So the Kipper cards here don't have a playing card association. And if you remember from what we're saying here, you read the Kipper cards literally. Okay, so we have the Siren, and we have 2 Sirens, but we've got Siren 1, Siren 2. The marriage card. These are gorgeous. Again, for the marriage card here, we have 3 options. So we have, I quite like that this is a relationship from people from different racial backgrounds. As the heterosexual couple, we have 2 females for marriage, and we have 2 males for marriage. Again, you'll choose which marriage card you want to have in your deck, or alternate out for whoever you're doing readings for. We have get together, we have the good gent and the good lady, we have the letter, and then we have the false person. That's a really interesting image, isn't it? The reflection that's coming back in the mirror is very different. We have change, odyssey, wealth, and then we have rich girl and rich gent. Woe, good outcome, deep thoughts, endings rather than just coffin in the Lenormand, house, parlour, military, court. So do you see how these are more literal? You know, you can't get more literal than, you know, court. Theft, high honours, great fortune, unexpected money, expectation, prison, mediator, a brief illness, sorrow, murky thoughts. I think I would probably, and I think I've said this before, I think I'd probably be better with Kipper than Lenormand. I never realised I was such a kind of literal person, especially on that sort of interpersonal level. The long road and hope. So we have this anchor as well, and that's card 36 in this deck. So again, down to choice. You can have them both as a separate deck. You can even try putting them together and having this one 72 card deck once you've taken out your extra cards. Even if you shuffle them, you know, you can separate them out again later because you know which are Kippers and which are Lenormand. But you would know anyway because of the playing cards on one and not on the other. But yeah, nice easy deck to handle. There's no, you know, 36, it's 72, so it's not even as thick as a tarot deck. You can see how easy it is to separate them here. So yeah, so that's the Siren's Song, a guidebook to divining with Lenormand and Kipper. and sounds like, certainly looks like it's a very interesting book that I'm going to enjoy reading over the bank holiday, especially about combining them together. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like I say, I'll be back tomorrow for my interview with Cheryl from Oneness Emporium. I will come back at some point as well to do a walkthrough of The Beloved Dead and one or two other bits that I've got coming this week. Thanks for watching, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.